It's Summer Game Fest, or rather, I suppose the tail end of Summer Game Fest. When you're listening. What?
Ass end.
Ass end.
Yeah.
The ass end of Summer
Yeah.
Games Fest.
See, I took what you said and I made it more vulgar. Because we're back to our first episode and I'm trying to appeal to the audiences.
Yeah, well, welcome to the first episode, everybody.
No, it's the second.
Second?
Yeah.
Is it our second episode? Okay.
Yeah, I lost track of time just now. Sorry.
Well, welcome to our first ever SGF episode, second episode ever of Burnout Culture. The industry sucks and so do we. My name is Kazuma Hashimoto. I'm one of 3 fantastic hosts.
I'm also Kazuma Hashimoto.
I'm also Kazuma Hashimoto.
Yeah,
welcome to the Kazuma Hashimoto cast.
My name's GC. I edit the podcast and I like being here with my 2 friends.
I'm Cullen. I like being here. There are other people here.
Wow. Wow, Cullen, wow.
Look, I got beef with you. You got to go to SGF. You were allowed to go have the shadow shake.
Yes.
That Geoff was selling.
Geoff?
That Geoff was selling at the Summer Geoff Fest. Kazuma, before we go further at all, I want you to give me a review of the shadow shake.
Oh, it was so good. Okay, so first of all, the shadow shake. Let me read you the description of this delicious
evil.
Shake.
This is diabolical.
I even gave you a picture. I was like, post this to the socials.
Oh,
to say that this is why this is late.
Well, I already blamed myself because I drank 4 glasses of wine on day 1. But I'm glad we waited because now we can talk about the whole SGF. But anyway, review of the Shadow Shake.
So, first of all, Sega Atlas had a food truck at SGF. For those that don't know, by the way, Sega Atlas got hit with layoffs. Boo! Everybody hated that. It literally happened over SGF, so nobody was really reporting on it. They had a Super Monkey Ball legendary frozen banana, a chocolate dip banana coated in dazzling sprinkles, a Magatsuhi red and green ice, which is just Dippin' Dots, that strawberry or lime flavor, the Metaphor Rifantasio Magla potion, which is a lemonade mocktail, and the Shadow Shake and Sonic the Hedgehog bar. Now, the Shadow Shake, it says, you won't be able to chaos control yourself from indulging in this cookies and cream shake topped off with a red velvet swirl.
Oh my god. Oh, that goes hard.
Ooh, that sounds like it tastes great.
And the Sonic the Hedgehog bar is the fucked up Sonic popsicles. So you had people walking around just eating Sonic and like his eye was like falling out of his head, you know? I ended up having the Magatsuhi red Dippin' Dots because I had... So for those that don't know, when you go to SGF, I'm going to pull back the curtain for a second and probably get myself blacklisted from ever going to SGF again by being like, this is what you get when you go to SGF. You get a press badge, you get some swag, and when you go to SGF, they actually give you meal tickets, and you can get food from food trucks. So I had a tuna poke bowl as a very late lunch today, but I also had 3 cups of free coffee. Various vendors, it's weird to call them vendors, it's like a very business thing, but developers and publishers will have booths, and they will usually have food. Amazon had a meat and cheese platter with Iberico pork yesterday. The Nexon and NetEase area had a yuzu matcha cocktail. I had 3 mocktails of those. And the bartender was like, you're back again? And I'm like, I have another appointment. And I would just down the entire drink and be like, I'll see you later. And he was very comfortable talking to me at some point. And they had like Pocky and seaweed snacks and Korean honey chips and everything.
This sounds beautiful and amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, like there's like, they definitely make sure that you're having a comfortable time as you're checking out their games. And there is no want of liquor. You can get drunk in the middle of the day and nobody would even bat an eye.
That sounds sick as fuck.
It's not. It's a bad environment.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't be letting people drink during a business event, right? Like having beers or anything like that. It's
so there's really no cutoff, right?
Well, the idea should be you grab a beer or a drink and you have it with your lunch or whatever, like you would if you go to a restaurant. But I imagine because the crowd there is gamers or like people adjacent to gamers or,
There are more influencers than press now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then definitely, you're going to have a lot of people there who probably don't know how to drink responsibly or probably, don't care about not drinking responsibly. I could say these things because I'm never going to be invited to SGF, so
I'll get invited next year, mark my words.
Yeah, it'll be us, burnoutculture.podcast.com. I mean, from what I saw, nobody was drinking to excess, but usually it's the after parties where people will get really, really drunk to the point that they're slurring and everything. And that in itself is kind of a little uncomfortable. But again, people treat these events as I get to see my friends once a year, et cetera, et cetera. And that's all very exciting. But this is also a work thing, right? And I'm a fuddy-duddy stick in the mud that's I go here to work. I'm not going to get crazy drunk. I'm just going to hang out with my friends. And then I'm going to go home. Even though George Learmouth from The Gamer, he used to work for RPG Set as well. We almost went to a rave that had a mechanical bull because I had no idea that he raved. Also, hi, George. You'll never listen to this, but it was really great meeting you along with everybody else that I met. But it's an interesting event. And the day before, basically all the SGF stuff kicked off proper. That was Geoff Keighley's summer extravaganza where we all sat in the YouTube theater and watched the trailers reel or whatever. And let me tell you, the press area was 1/3 empty.
Ouch.
Yeah. Again, someone's going to listen to this and be like, we're never inviting this fucker ever again. But it was actually pretty empty. And I feel like I was the only one excited for Valorant on console because I saw my wife and I got really excited. My wife is Chamber Valorant.
That is quite amazing because I'm pretty sure when we streamed the Summer Game Fest, I immediately went, haha, that's for Kazuma.
Really?
I think so.
I think either Cullen or I was like, oh, this is for Kazuma. Kazuma loves Valorant.
And in my head, I was like, I bet Kazuma's freaking out right now.
So the song they had playing by Tuholic was really good, and I've only been listening to it on repeat like I'm stimming or something, just yes, 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 my wife, I love my wife. Valorant turns me into a wife guy for a 25-year-old weapons dealer who's French. It's bad. Valorant does
French
bad things to me.
French.
Yeah.
The French have a lot of power over you.
But Sam Lake was there, and he did a little dance on stage for Alan Wake. Yeah.
I have not gotten around to playing that DLC yet that just dropped, but I hear it's really good.
Okay.
And that game's getting a physical release now, which is apparently under limited run games, which kind of sucks.
Okay. Well, that stinks, because it's fucking $200 or some shit. I thought it was crazy.
There's one of them. I think there's a normal edition going out.
Okay.
I guess we could go right into it, starting with that. I mean, you want to talk about your impressions of SGF?
Yeah, I'm gonna lead it really strong. So, when you sign up for SGF, they ask you for your name, your outlet, your social media handle, and your pronouns. Nobody bothered to actually check my pronouns, and I got misgendered 90% of the event, which really sucked.
Lame.
So, maybe people should be better about that in the coming year, as if you see someone and you see their badge, checking pronouns is something that you should do if that's something that is afforded at the event, because I feel like people were definitely friendlier towards me because they thought I was a very charming young lady. But it actually really sucked. I don't like going to industry events in America because I get misgendered like crazy. That just really never happened in Europe, actually. But in the US, I get misgendered a lot. The event itself was fine. The YouTube theater stuff was really mismanaged. My badge almost got confiscated by security because somebody was going through my bag, saw my badge, and said that I couldn't have it, and that I was trying to pose as staff, even though it said press, and it became a whole thing.
Oh.
There were sponsors that were having problems getting in. It just wasn't good. Thankfully, the PR company that was working with Summer Game Fest did get everything sorted out for everybody. So shout out to 47. You guys are fucking heroes for that.
They are.
Yeah, 47, not to be ooh, I love PR companies, but 47 generally really great to work with. I ended up covering a lot of appointments for people that couldn't make it, so I was booked back to back. I theoretically cannot talk about what I saw at SGF because everything is under embargo, but we can talk about trailers. Well, I can say that I did play Elden Ring because there's no embargo on that.
Ooh.
And that was really cool. There are like over 100 new weapons or some shit.
Oh, God.
In the DLC.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And I got to use these things called bear claws, in which I scuttle around on all fours and swipe at people's legs until they die from bleed damage, which is great. Jake, if you're listening to this, you are now assigned bear in Elden Ring. So
I'm interested in finding out that this expansion is somehow like another 100-hour mega game on its like by itself. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Not 100, but you know what I mean. Like it's this like this will be the size of a full fucking game somehow.
I'm saying 20 hours.
You think 20?
I think for me and GC it'll be 20. For other people it's going to be 40 to 50.
Oh, so you could just say me.
Are you bad at Souls likes?
Yeah, I'm super bad at those games.
Okay, then what we got to do is we got to do the co-op mod. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'll pop into your game as one of the blowjob brothers. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. So
Kazuma will be what's it called? Blood. What's the stat thing? It's
blood. Yeah,
job.
it's
blood loss.
Yeah, blood loss.
You'll be blood loss, I'll be frostbite. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You can just stand there and look cute, Cullen.
Okay.
I got to check out. I can say that I saw Dragon Age, but I can't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only talk about the trailer and how I think there are some really attractive older men in that trailer, which I am interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the tone that they're moving forward with the Dragon Age series.
It felt very Fable-y.
I don't think pulp is the right word.
It feels Whedon-esque. I don't like it.
Yeah. It feels like
there.
a Marvel movie sort of style, and that's not my thing. Like, I like Dragon Quest when it's lower to the ground and not like serious, because Dragon Quest was never like super serious. But I like it when it was dry. Dragon Age humor used to be really dry.
Yeah.
That to me is where Dragon Age is like at its best. Where the humor is like very witty, and it's still very like the setting is still very dark and grim, but you have characters sort of making light of it because it's the way they cope with their situations.
Yeah, as opposed to and it's in Tevinter. Cullen, do you know anything about Dragon Age?
Nope.
Tevinter is a nation of slavers.
Oh.
So they're like, this is like cool. We're a bunch of, pals having a fun, quirky trailer while we're in the middle of the Tevinter Imperium, which is where most blood mages are, and they're notorious for being slavers. One of the companion characters, and this is where the politics of Dragon Age kind of lose me, because you can tell that there was a lot of, I don't want to be like, they didn't think hard about this, but I think there were some interesting choices in making the only brown man in Inquisition a former slaver who only ran away because he was gay and his dad wanted him to do a eugenics, and the only black woman in the game advocates for the imprisonment and lobotomization of a minority group that could be viewed dangerous, that she is also part of.
What they doing over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things that the polite way to say it is like it was an oversight. Like,
yeah,
they probably didn't like realize what they were doing when they did that, or maybe they thought they were being clever when they did it. It's not entirely clear. It was
when they cast Lance Reddick as Albert Wesker, it's like the pro-eugenicist fascist is now black. It's very much that, like the clap, 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 clap meme.
Yeah.
Where it feels like it's really cool to see. Like, I loved Vivi, and I was like, oh, I love her design. I can't wait to meet her. And I'm like, oh, and I always play mage. So she's like, you should be lobotomized. And I'm like, holy shit. Holy fuck. I wonder what they're going to get into with it being in Tevinter, because people have wanted to go to Tevinter for a really long time. I wanted to go to Tevinter because I wanted to go to the capital, where magic is socially acceptable to use and you won't be imprisoned for it. I think there are definitely some interesting creative decisions being made. It's one of these things, right, where you have like I feel like you can't win for losing in these situations where you have characters that have, non-white features that are in roles of either being the oppressed or the oppressor, and you have to sort of figure out how you're going to work that into your fantasy setting without it blowing up into your face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm worried about, and just to be clear, they mentioned it's in Tevinter in the trailer, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Okay, because
they mentioned it a long time ago.
Okay. What worries me about the Whedon-esque, as we called it, the Whedon-esque attitude that the trailer seems to have, is that they're gonna go to Tevinter, and going to Tevinter means a lot of things, and it implies a lot of things, and if they don't touch on certain themes or certain issues, it's a missed opportunity, and two, it's kind of like ignoring the elephant in the room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you combine Joss Whedon with sensitive subjects, I don't think that's a very good combination. I think that's a combination that's gonna blow up in their face. So I really hope that the trailer is just a hype trailer, and it's just there to get people excited. And then when we actually go play the game, it's more of that sort of what we're used to with Dragon Age.
Well, if you noticed, it's not about the story. It's about the characters. It's about okay. I can say this. I don't remember who told me this, but after Baldur's Gate 3, someone I was talking to that worked in marketing was literally like, yeah, we're trying to capture that same lightning in a bottle because fandom will keep your game alive. And I feel like that really began with Dragon Age. And now they're really going all in on, look at all these people you can fuck. Because you can fuck all of those people in that trailer.
Yeah, it's definitely highlighting the would-be companions in the same way that, not the way that Baldur's Gate 3 highlighted those companions, but in the way that everyone highlighted the characters from Baldur's Gate 3.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you Dragon Age fans okay?
No.
It's kind of like...
There are people that go too far with it, and there are people that are normal about it.
Yeah,
like with anything.
I think both of us are pretty much normal about it, and
yeah,
and our sort of thing with at least my thing with Dragon Age is always sort of like a cautious optimism, because the series has never been like gold stars all across the board, like you've never done anything wrong, Dragon Age, mwah, mwah, mwah. Like it's done things that I don't like, and it's sort of like a very It's like a very respectful relationship with your father-in-law. And like that's basically my relationship with Dragon Age. And it's like it hasn't disappointed me completely yet.
Can you try to pitch me on Dragon Age right now?
No, because you just wouldn't be into it.
Why? How do you know that?
It's just not your vibe, trust me. Like, it's not whimsical enough for you.
I don't need it to be whimsical.
Cullen, there is... This
it's
is not
Western
a place
Persona.
of honor.
It's Western Persona
that would not
with
sell it to
real-time
me.
combat.
That would not sell it to me.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. You should play Origins. I think you would like Origins.
Origins has real consequences for the most part. I think Inquisition is the worst game. I like 2 the most, just because you're playing a set character that has a really compelling storyline, and I think in relation to Hawke's mother and her grieving her children, that is like the most realistic example of that I've like ever seen in a game, which doesn't say a lot because it's really bad. But I remember like going through Dragon Age 2 and seeing Leandra like mourn her child, and I was like, oh, this is like really you remember that, right?
Yeah.
And how she would like lash out at you because she didn't know what else to do, and then the whole thing that happens to her. Like Hawke goes through it.
You know
Can
what,
you just
Cullen,
start
you would
it
like
too?
Dragon Age 2. Yeah, you would like Dragon Age 2. You'd be a Dragon Age 2 like truther.
Yeah. And there's so many bad bitches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Isabella is your girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, Isabella, that's your girl.
Can I do I have to play Dragon Age 1 before 2?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Dragon Age 2 is a completely self-contained story.
Oh my god, that rules. I just want to
default Hawke is like, oh, he's so my type. He's
I've seen
so
the box
my
art.
type.
He's great.
That's a cool ass guy.
Yeah, he's he performs at post-hardcore shows on the weekends and then goes home and takes care of his mom. Like, that's the kind of character he is. Like, yeah. He's like going and getting up to things. But I think the politics in that game actually caused a huge schism in the fandom, Cullen. Mm-hmm. And by schism, I mean they had to shut down the forums because people that sided with the Templars were basically sending death threats to people that had sided with the mages.
Yeah, like people got really into the conflict of that game.
Yes. And in my opinion, there is a side that is actually correct in that, and it's not the Templars.
It's definitely not the Templars.
Yes.
Yeah. You would like Dragon Age 2 because it has very good character writing, which is
and
I would give Dragon Age 2 a lot.
Yeah, and Shulk's voice actor is in it.
Oh, I do like him.
Yeah, it's Anders.
Oh, he's Anders?
Yeah, he's Anders. He's really feeling it.
He's my least favorite character.
Oh, and then Gideon Emery is Fenris.
Oh yeah, well that I did know.
Yeah, I romanced him. I romanced him so hard.
Gideon Emery, you listen,
Yeah. Well, of course I wanted to fuck the only straight character in that game. So when I was like trying to romance him, he was like, "Wow, Hawk, you're a really good friend." And I was like, "Is that all I am to you? I helped you get your kingdom back. Is that all I am to you?" So yeah, Dragon Age can be fun, Cullen. I'd say play Dragon Age 2.
And if you like 2, go back and play 1.
But just don't play Inquisition. That's a nothing burger of a game.
I mean, at that point, I might give it a shot.
You can play it as like a curiosity. You don't have to finish Inquisition, though. Because Inquisition, I guess if you mod it, but like...
Yeah.
Inquisition is a heavy investment. Like Dragon Age 2 you can finish in like a week.
Yeah, and if you played Inquisition, you have to play a very specific character like type to actually get the full story, which is what in my opinion, you have to be a straight girl to get the full story of Inquisition. Yeah, it kind of blows, honestly. You have to be a little straight elf girl who romances a walking, talking egg.
Little GC played a straight white man in Inquisition, and he remembers being very excited being able to tell a bad guy that he doesn't believe in gods, and he was like, yeah.
I always play a mage, so usually everyone's like really fucking evil to me. They're just like, "You fucking mage," and I'm like, "What did I do? Jesus." So I don't know. I think it's weird because I think Dragon Age is also trying to position itself because, like there were leaks that happened like last year, right? Where like you could see the menus and what the combat was like. And it's very action focused now. But here's the thing. There are really good fantasy action RPGs out there. I don't know how Dragon Age is going to compete if its writing just doesn't knock it out of the park. Like it really has to go all in on the writing.
Yeah, it has to be what people saw in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, and I don't know what they saw in that, so it's probably gonna do fucking great because my expectations are on the bar. What?
Don't you think it's interesting that like Dragon Age 1 was basically a Baldur's Gate game but in 3D, and then now they're still trying to chase after Baldur's Gate's like coattails? But it's like a different kind of Baldur's Gate. Like it's a different kind of game entirely.
Yes, because you don't know this, Cullen, or maybe you do. BioWare actually developed Baldur's Gate.
The original Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Yeah, and Neverwinter Nights. Yeah. And there is that DNA in Dragon Age to the point that there is a character named Mythal. Mythal is an item in the Forgotten Realms, which is where Baldur's Gate takes place. That's actually the Alluvian mirrors. Those are Mythals. That's what they're called in the Forgotten Realms. So it has all this interconnected DNA, even though I think in an interview they said it's inspired by Game of Thrones. There is no fucking Game of Thrones DNA in Dragon Age, regardless of what they say. It's weird. You remember reading those interviews, right, GC?
About what?
About how the Dragon Age team said that Dragon Age was inspired by Game of Thrones.
That's not true. I can't just say that it's not true because they're just saying it. But like, I highly doubt it because I don't think anybody knew what Game of Thrones was before the show. Like I think I'm almost entirely sure it's a fucking fantasy book, so it was probably niche reading. I've played through Dragon Age, all of them except for Inquisition's DLC.
I don't platinum games. I platinumed Origins, Awakening, and 2.
Yeah, I think I platinumed Origins and Awakening, and like, there's no way. There's number one, there's not enough sex in that game to be Game of Thrones. Number two, there's not enough gruesome violence.
There are dragons.
Yeah, there's dragons. But the whole like story is different. The enemies you fight are thematically different. The relationship between characters is different. There's no like politics.
There's no intrigue.
Yeah, there's no political intrigue. There's no like, oh, who's gonna be in charge next week? Like there's none of that.
There's none of that in Dragon Age?
No, because so people are gonna comment and be like, you guys are wrong. But tell me if there is literally any kind of political intrigue that isn't just surface level. It's literally not like, I've been rewatching Game of Thrones, by the way, because again, like I'm a big Tywin Lannister. I love old men. But
can we step back a little bit? Which one does not have the intrigue?
Yeah. All of them don't have the intrigue.
Dragon Age does not have the intrigue. Okay,
yeah.
It does not have the intrigue of Game of Thrones.
Okay. Yeah. I could not figure out what direction you were pointing at because you're both big Dragon Age fans.
Oh, no, it's Game of Thrones has a lot of political intrigue. Everything is very interconnected. You have interpersonal relationships. There are choices that have real consequences like further down the line, right?
Political intrigue in Dragon Age is in passing.
Yes, it is. It is, okay, you made this person king. Congratulations. Or you got the book back. There you go. Or I'm going to side with one or two sides and I'll never see the social ramifications of this in the next game.
Oh, that's right. You don't.
Yep.
That's the other thing. That's okay. I know we've been talking about Dragon Age for a lot, but that is one thing that I'm really hopeful for in the new one is they're not bound by the 3-game promise that BioWare was making with like
the original trilogy.
With the trilogy, yeah. Like what I mean is like with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, they were like, oh, your choices are all gonna matter and it's gonna culminate into like a big whatever and we're gonna deliver on this huge promise that all of the decisions you've made in every game are gonna all add up into something meaningful and we're going to carry over your save data from each game and it's going to matter. Trust us. They're not bound by that anymore.
No.
They don't have to design their game with the promise that there's going to be a next one. Probably because there might not be a next one if this one doesn't sell. But yeah, like that's something that I'm looking forward to where we can see a Dragon Age game that's not in a sense being limited by that.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. Anyways, can I get a
fucking segue?
Monster Hunter.
Ooh.
Monster Hunter. That looks good. I also saw Monster, but I can't say anything about Monster Hunter other than that I think it looks really, really nice.
I will say the things that I know so far, so we can talk about it. We can take 2 weapons now.
Yeah.
Which is a huge game changer because, all right, so hear me out. Everyone is saying, oh my God, we get to take 2 different weapons. But what if a hunting horn main, took 2 hunting horns with different buffs?
Oh, that would be funny. I don't think you can do that though. No, maybe you can. I don't know.
It depends
actually.
how flexible they're going to be because
if
you can carry 2 weapons. So I feel like it doesn't really matter if it's 2 of the same weapon as long as they're of different affinities, and you could still game that pretty well.
I'm just saying, if I'm fast enough, I can play the guitar really fast, you guys. If I can play my buffs fast enough, I can double up buffs as a hunting horn main. That's pretty sick. Also, this changes weapons like poison affinity weapons, where there's now a strategy where people can bring a weapon with a certain element that does a thing like sleep or poison, and then you can all bop the enemy until they're poisoned, and then switch to another weapon that does more damage, or maybe like, I don't know, confronts the resistances of the monster, or explosive damage, which is always very good. So now people can do little min-maxing things like that, and I think that's really neat. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think it's going to really open up what you're going to be able to do in that game, and I think the more they continue to iterate on Monster Hunter, the better it gets.
Yeah.
Like, I legitimately think Capcom has a fantastic foundation, and they keep passing the game off to like younger and younger teams, which is really cool because you don't see Japanese companies do that. And I think because of that, we're going to see these like series that they have, these legacy series, continue and thrive.
Yeah. It's very nice to see, especially I guess there's 2 Monster Hunter teams, right? There's the Rise team and then the World team. What I'm hoping for is that Wilds was
made by both.
I think Wilds is the World team.
Yeah, it's the classic team.
So what I'm hoping they did was look at Rise and go, hey, there's some really good ideas in there. Let's take all of that except the monster riding and put it in our next game.
Mm-hmm.
And we leave out the monster riding, because the monster riding was a hey, listen, y'all, it was a great idea.
Like Palamutes?
To start. It was a really neat
no. Like the big monsters,
wyvern riding.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like whenever the monster got tethered down and then you could mount it, and then you could run it into rocks and shit. Yeah. It also made it really obvious that monsters were going to like fight each other in order to knock one down so you could mount one, as opposed to
you're just standing there, just like watching it happen.
Yeah. Not fun. It was neat to see. It's really annoying to play around in the long term. Would love to have that be left behind.
Who knows if it will or not. But I know today they also showed a new Diablo trailer.
It was gross.
It was gnarly. Someone said it was Cronenberg, and I was like, yeah, you're right, though.
I'll be honest. I took my little YouTube playhead and I scanned over it because I was like, oh, this is going to be fucking macabre as shit. And it was. And I was like, eee! And I was like, grimacing at all the little thumbnails on the playhead as I like dragged it across the screen.
Well, I thought Naira was gonna die in the trailer, but I'm glad she didn't. You haven't finished Diablo, have you, Cullen? We gotta fix that so you can understand what's going on. So we're gonna play Diablo together. Okay. Yay! And you get to play it with the best version of the game, actually.
Did they just update it?
Oh, it's crazy good now. It's crazy good. Yeah, it's fucking awesome now.
I don't even think it's like seasonal. I think that's just like the way it's
permanent.
Yeah.
It's permanent now. Yeah. Yeah. They basically changed everything regarding loot and how like the gear affects your stats and everything. It's crazy. I'm waiting for this season to end so my seasonal character can roll over and I can just do whatever the fuck I want with my necromancer who I bought a skin for. Yeah, that trailer was, when they said they were going to do dark fantasy, I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw that and I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing dark fantasy without all of like the like overt sexual assault and everything, right? That's the thing with Diablo, is that it is dark fantasy, but it, there's no sexual assault in Diablo, thank God. It's just like, this is gory. This is kind of gross.
Yeah, the shock value leans more onto the side of like a slasher film.
Yes. Yeah. But what else I wasn't watching Xbox Showcase because I was doing things, TM.
Well, there was a lot of really cool games. I saw at Xbox, not all of them that I actually want to play.
Okay.
I know that Indiana Jones game actually looks really cool, and
with Boy Traker.
Yeah, it's so weird that Troy Baker is like the indie voice
and not Nolan North.
But like, I will say, he kind of kills it. we were watching it on stream and I was like, hey guys, guess who this voice actor is? And no one could like figure it out. And then it's like,
really?
Well, no. And then it's like, oh, and that's Troy Baker. And then everyone was like, oh my God, it is.
It's Troy Baker doing his best Harrison Ford impression.
I think he's killing it.
Speaking of Troy Baker, this is not really a Troy Baker unless you played Batman Arkham Knight, but that Arkham VR game looks really good, and I'm sad it's a VR game.
Yeah, I think GC and I said something about that where we were like, oh, this is really cool. It's the Rat King. Whoa. Well,
I don't own a VR.
Yeah, and also I think I would get physically ill being Batman.
Yeah, he's always doing flips around.
He zips and zooms and like
prances and dances.
Yeah, he does a little pirouette.
He does do those pirouettes. He's kind of like very graceful.
He is, for a big man, he is very graceful. Did they show more Assassin's Creed Red stuff?
Okay. Yeah, that Assassin's Creed trailer is amazing looking. That game actually looks sick.
I need to check it out.
Are we talking about Shadows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I keep calling it red. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's got a red aesthetic. It's the Persona 5 of Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. Because I actually wanted to talk about that because I forgot to talk about it last week. But I'm really excited for that, for Shadows.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it's going to be like, but I think it's really cool that they have Yasuke, because Yasuke is fucking awesome. And I think Naue being part of the Iga clan is really inspired. So,
at the very least, based off of what they showed, it looks like it is at least a very fun game to play. How they handle any of that other stuff, I don't know. But like, at the moment, since all they can really show us is like, oh, hey, this is what it looks like. What they showed at Xbox was pretty impressive. I got excited.
Okay. I will watch the trailer after this, and then I will see how I feel about it. So for those of you who don't know, we have a Discord channel for all of this, and in schedules and topics, it was things to yap about for me. Assassin's Creed Red, I forgot about last week, and SGF, a prison. My prison. So, my prison.
They say it's the year of Shadow.
Oh God, that looks so good.
Assassin's Creed Doom, is paying tribute because it's the year of Shadow. So we kind of like jumped far ahead from SGF Day 1, but they showed off Sonic X Shadow, and Shadow has a devil trigger, and you're going to stages from Sonic 06. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is everything I wanted.
Now, it should be worth noting.
Okay.
I forget their name because I didn't remember it because I was just skimming through a lot of information while I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
The Shadow campaign is described as a solid chunk.
Yep.
But it's not as long as the Sonic campaign.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but given the amount of stages we were shown, I'm assuming we're getting at least like 6 or 7 stages. Which, to me, is plenty.
That is a Sonic game.
Yeah. Like, Sonic Generations is what?
Like 3 hours long?
Yeah, it's like I think it's 9 stages modern Sonic, 9 stages classic Sonic.
Yeah, and the thing is that like I think is okay for me because when I think about the length of what is like Sonic Generations, I never think of classic Sonic anyway. So as long as this campaign is about as long as modern Sonic's campaign, I'm super content. That's a full game for me.
Yeah, because when you think about it, you're playing through classic Sonic, modern Sonic, and Shadow. Mm-hmm. So if Shadow makes up a third of that full gameplay experience,
that's like
that just kind of makes sense to me. Like,
and the fact that there are 7 fucking stages.
Well, like that's what I'm assuming. That's my guess.
I mean, there's like, they've shown off a good variety of them. So I think 5 to 7 is super reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And like, they're adding in new boss fights. They're like remaking the bosses from some of the older games. It's really fucking cool. Everything they showed off over the weekend made them like everybody understand that no, they get it.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited. I bought King Ice Shadow necklace.
Did you?
I bought it.
Bro, we gotta get you those Dolce & Gabbana fucking Shadow sneakers.
Yeah, link me those after this. I'll think about it. I'm making
I already did. No, dude, they're like $800. Like,
I'll just take it from the podcast funds. No one will miss it.
Well, honestly, So you know that I have like the blonde tips in my hair, right? I was thinking about dyeing them red, so I have black and red hair like Shadow.
That's sick as fuck.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You're a Shadow.
Yeah, you're a fucking Shadow. GC, how are you gonna pledge?
I named my Yoshi in the 1,000-Year Door remake Shadow, remember?
Oh, fuck.
Hell
fuck. We're actually all in on it. Let's go.
Yoshi with red hair, so I named it Shadow.
Thank you all for sitting through the Sonic arc. It has ended with me converting everybody. We are now a Sonic the Hedgehog podcast.
Fan. Yeah. I played a lot of
You're
Shadow
a fucking liar. You're a...
When all of us meet up, I'm going to look like a fucking Shadow the Hedgehog Gajinka. So, that will be my cross to bear. What else? Well, I guess we're skipping through all the days and everything, but like, what did you guys like seeing?
GC, did you like seeing anything else at Geoff's show?
At SGF?
I like the Budokai Tenkaichi stuff. Sorry, Sparking Zero.
Yeah, Sparking Zero looks so good. And then I saw that you can apparently make story battles, so you can make your own alternate history and then send it to friends, and then they can play through it. I don't know how that's gonna work. It
sounds fun.
Is combining the characters just going to generate a cutscene?
Who knows?
Because that could be cool or really lame. But Sparking Zero looks fucking great. It looks like old school Budokai stuff.
I never played the Budokai Tenkaichi games too much. Yeah. But I know they're really beloved, so I'll probably play this one.
Oh my god, they're so cool. So one of my favorite
they're like
parts,
the best.
Yeah, one of my favorite parts of old Budokai games is the alternate history stuff where they literally will do what if stories and you'll get like cool like versions of a DBZ arc. And then you'll unlock those characters for fighting in the multiplayer. Ooh. Also, there's so many characters. So they, instead of like having like 16 characters,
there's like 100 or something, right?
Yeah, like they put every character into the game, every version of the character into the game. And granted, largely it's like costume swaps, but it's so cool. Like you can have like 3 different versions of Teen Gohan if you wanted to.
That sounds like a Dragon Ball game.
Oh, Cullen. Okay, sorry, Cullen just installed Dragon Age 2. Do you have the Forbidden? It's not the Forbidden Prince. It's the something Prince DLC. Hang on, Dragon Age.
No idea, but I just thought like I set it up to download while we were like talking, not to play Dragon Age on our podcast, but I was like, I just wanted to call out, not to take away from Dragon Ball. Dragon Age 2 has a really cool title screen. Everyone look that up. Shout out to the Dragon Age 2 title screen.
It's really good. If you have the Exiled Prince DLC, you'll get like this like really overly serious redheaded Scottish dude. He's like the guy that I desperately wanted to kiss, but he's straight, so pain, physical pain. But yeah, no, fucking Sparking Zero looks awesome. And you haven't played any of the Budokai games, right?
Me, no.
Okay, they're very accessible fighters. Very accessible fighters. So we could all just beat the shit out of each other.
Sounds
constantly
fun.
All the time.
I look forward to this new one.
Budokai Tenkaichi makes up the DNA of like modern anime fighters, but modern anime fighters can't hold a candle to Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah, they could never be her.
They could never be her.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Yeah.
Valorant on console.
No, that didn't happen.
My wife. I'm choking.
Yeah, good. Die.
Valorant on console. I don't know that. I feel like with the I'm gonna call it the Geoff Summer Extravaganza.
Summer Geoff Fest.
Yeah. Geoff 3, the 3 Keeleys or whatever. I feel like them ending with that Valorant thing was like a huge like bummer for everybody, even though he was like it's not gonna go hard this year. Well, it sure didn't go hard.
No, he told everyone.
It sure did not.
No.
He was right.
There were a couple of like head scratchers at SGF, especially what they opened with. First of all, I mean we can get that.
What did they open with?
Lego Horizon Adventures.
Oh, but what I think is interesting about that, and that we can talk about really briefly, is that it's actually going to be on PC and Nintendo Switch. So this is a Sony title that is going to be releasing first day on multiple platforms.
Oh, it's very interesting.
That is
Nintendo is really just sitting back and letting the other parts of the industry just flock on in.
Mm-hmm. specifically for GC and for anybody who's into 4X games, Civ 7 got confirmed.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, Civ 7 exists. Yeah. It's coming. I am looking forward to it, but as someone who found Civ 6 to be a little lacking in certain departments.
Is that the one with Sean Bean as the narrator?
I think that might be 5. Unless 5 is...
I have 5.
Unless 5 is Leonard Nimoy. No, 4 is Leonard Nimoy. 5 is Sean Bean, I think.
No, it's William Morgan Shepherd.
In 5?
Yeah. Okay. So 6 must be... Yep, 6 is Jonathan Bonathan.
Jonathan Bonathan himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I found a little lacking, but I liked it overall. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping Civ 7 has a stronger presence out the gate. And by that, I mean, like... I hope it grabs me a little stronger. There was some things with 6's like card system that I felt was a little too board gamey, which is weird because it's a board game. But I cut my teeth on Civ 3 when I was a kid, so like I like the old school way that Civ used to play. I know that's not something they want to go back to because it alienates new players, but I'm hoping Civ 7 has something there for classic Civ fans.
Well, here's hoping for Civilization 7.
Metaphor also got a thing.
Did it?
Do you want to talk about Metaphor stuff?
Oh my god, I'd
totally love to talk about Metaphor.
Yeah, you're a Atlas
I'm Atlas
liker.
boy.
Yeah, Atlas boy.
So this is become one of my most anticipated games of the year now. Because the way the gameplay loop seems to be is just incredible looking.
Yeah, it does look good. I will say that. As much as I don't like Hashino, I think it looks really good.
I think that they're kind of cooking, and like this. So being an Atlas fan, like not just a Persona fan, but an Atlas fan just in general, you know that one of the reasons they're able to do what they do is because they do a lot of asset reuse. Like Persona 5 took so long because they needed to remake all of their models that they had been using since the PS2 era. All of the demon models used across SMT and Persona, they needed to make them all in HD. And now that they've done that, they've been able to just reuse those models again and again and again. You look at this and you go, wow, you guys made a completely new thing here. And I don't know how any of these could even possibly be used elsewhere. And you just look at this game and you can see why it has taken so long. There's so much shit in this game. Like I think it's like love or hate Hashino and Persona 5. This game exists seemingly as a favor to Hashino for making the Supercellar game. This looks like they gave him a blank check. I don't know if this game is going to sell enough to recoup all of that money and dev time that was put into this game, but like it looks amazing. It's got that really cool maximalist UI. The battle system seems really fun. There's multiple different weapon types apparently, which affect your like normal like because you know this game has like turn-based combat and like in person like actual action combat, and it seems like your weapon choice might change how you like fight in both, which is kind of neat. There's a job system. It seems like they reframed Persona's calendar system and progression into changing from we are in our little area as life passes us by to you are in this city. You have these tasks, and how you spend to like your time will actually affect progression in the game, which seems really cool.
I wish they had gone more into that. I hope they do that at the next, like, because they did a showcase at SGF this year, and then they said they were going to show more at a later date. So I hope they show more of that, like, calendar system, managing your tasks, open world exploration. I want to see more of that because I'm in on the battle system. It looks fun. I had a couple friends say I think it looks neat, but ultimately it sort of boils down to Atlas RPG combat that we've seen before.
Yeah.
But I'm not tired of that. I'm okay with that.
No.
So I want to see more. I want to see more of the other elements to the game before it comes out. I'm probably going to get it anyway.
I mean, you're going to have it because I'll buy it. I think we're going to come to that often where you're like, I don't know. And now I'm like, well, you got to play it now. Like, I'm buying SMT5 for us. and you can take turns playing that one.
Hey, not to go back to Diablo, GC, sure. They're adding pets through the new expansion.
Ooh, do they fight with me?
I don't know, but if you get Vessel of Hatred, you get a little snow leopard cub.
Ooh.
Sorry, that's you don't know this, Cullen, but it's a really big deal that pets are coming back.
Okay.
Nice. What was I gonna say? So there's a game that we thought was really interesting at SGF. Okay. Actually, that we forgot to talk about, called Slitterhead.
Yes! Oh fuck yeah! Yes. Oh my god, I'm so excited for Slitterhead. Have you guys played Siren?
No, but I know of it in detail.
I read a magazine walkthrough of Siren and I got really scared.
Yeah, and GC would never because he's a little scaredy baby boy.
Cullen, you have to play Siren Blood Curse. There's a quirked up white boy in that, and you would love him.
Oh, I've seen him.
Yes, that's you.
I know of him.
That's you.
Yeah, that seems like me.
Yeah, that's you.
I've seen the ending of that game too. That goes hard.
You know what? And if you know that the guy that's directing Slitterhead also did that in Silent Hill and Gravity Rush, it all makes sense.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I saw people cheering that it's like, guys, it's mission based with no open world. We're back.
So, for people who haven't seen, apparently Slitterhead is a game where it looks like you take control of people and you can mutate them into weird, like, not weird creatures, but you can like mutate them into having like abilities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can sort of swap between them and do damage to enemies. And the enemies you're fighting are like weird monsters and they're gross. And that's all we know. That's all we know. But it looked kind of neat. It looked cool.
Mm-hmm.
There was a particularly cool segment where like because I think you play as the spirits and you possess someone who jumps out of a building, and as the body is falling, you like stop time and then send the consciousness into someone on the ground. And I'm like, this is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if they play into the possibility of like maybe like immersive sim puzzle solving stuff, of like being really obtuse with it like that, in addition to like the fun combat stuff, I think there could be something really cool here.
It's a very novel concept. It's very unique.
It's gonna be a one and done, and that's gonna be it.
Fine.
There will be no Slitterhead 2.
Good.
Yes.
But it looks cool.
Make the game and move on to something new.
Yes. Man. Oh god, I'm so excited. Oh, Slitterhead, my beloved.
You pull out a bone like minigun at some point.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Parasite. I wonder if like one of his inspirations was Parasite.
Okay. That would make sense if it was. Man, sorry, now that I know there are pets in Diablo, it's all I'm thinking about. It's all I'm thinking about. I just want those pets. GC, this might be a little annoying to you, but it looks like we're going back to Latin America. Speaking of Latin America, I went to the Final Fantasy 14 event.
Oh,
how'd that go?
No.
Yeah. Well, it was very, they're really going in on this vacation thing.
They're really going in the sense of like, it is a fun excursion, a side story, if you will, a gaiden.
Yes.
As they say.
Yeah, they had like cutouts of the characters and, fake drinks and pineapples and everything. And it was very, you're going on a vacation.
It's a vacation. It's a little vacation where we install a political leader.
Yeah.
I wish I could like even care about like Daybreak discourse.
Daybreak?
Daybreak? Oh, I'm thinking Trails. Sorry. Yeah. Dawntrail. Sorry. GC, definitely don't include that bit. And then don't include me saying to cut that bit. I really appreciate Dawntrail. Oh, Square, give us money.
Yeah, Square Enix, we love you.
No, like I just wish I could give a fuck about Dawntrail. Like I'm hearing so many muffled complaints. It's like, and I'm just in my room, and I'm like, I could go outside and ask what's going on, but then I have to talk to 14 fans.
Yeah,
I'm staying in my room.
Yeah, you can just go play Diablo with us instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so how was the event? You talked to Yoshi P?
I sure did.
Yeah? He was like, it's Kazuma. It's my favorite boy.
Hello. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm so funny, epic, Reddit gold.
Yeah, Reddit gold. I asked him about, so in previous interview with PC Gamer, I believe it was like maybe like a year or so ago, he mentioned that they did actually pull on cultural consultants for Dawntrail. And I asked him what that process looked like and how involved they were, because I've actually done cultural consultancy. That's like my side gig, right? I work in every part of the industry because I am poor and I need money. So if it's a thing that involves writing or consultancy of some kind, I've probably done it. For who, I cannot tell you ever, or I will die. Someone will come into my house and kill me. And he responded, I think he gave a pretty good answer. It's on Polygon. And he mentioned that, they wanted to get even minute details right, such as like various symbols and everything, or the curvature of said symbols and textile textures and whatnot. But when I asked for clarification about the various Latin American cultures they were representing, Square could not give me a definitive answer.
Which is not a good sign.
I was going to say, which is glowing for the state of Dawntrail.
Yeah. People also pointed out that they've, once again blended like Southeast Asian influence in the game, into this expansion, and people are bringing up that it makes sense because both were like colonized by Spain, and whatnot. And they share that history of like having been colonized by like Spanish Empire and shit. I don't know if that's actually the intention of what Square Enix is going for, but if it is, that's cool, and if it's not. Well, we have a video game.
Please buy it. Please subscribe. Please play Dawntrail, please. Yoshi P, burn a bunch of money, please.
Please.
It's a vacation, please.
Yeah, well, that's like going back in time, out of the SGF days, but yeah, that was SGF for me. I'm still technically, as I am recording this episode, I have more SGF things to do, actually. I'm not done with SGF.
I am.
Oh, well, God, I wish that were me.
I found SGF kind of exhausting this year. I don't know how to describe it.
I was at work for half of it, so
I did not feel the joy I used to feel at E3.
Well, there are better announcements at TGS and Gamescom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I mean, we can talk about why this is the case or whatever, but with all the layoffs going on and all this like bad, like the loss of goodwill people have with the companies that make these games and the companies that like bankroll this stuff, knowing how much it costs to run an advertisement at SGF or when that came out, and then finding out that bigger publishers don't even have to pay that amount because technically SGF needs those announcements at their thing to sell ad revenue or whatever. It's hard to be excited, especially like with Xbox's presentation. It's hard to see a Dragon Age or Oblivion's new game that's coming out, Avowed, and be excited for those things, knowing what potentially may happen to those studios, what may potentially happen to those people working on those games if the game doesn't sell astronomical amounts.
Yes. If they don't sell, it's not even if they sell well, it's if they need to sell the imaginary number, right?
Yes.
They need to hit the projected sales, which is fake and made up and not real.
Yeah, a number that some guy made up to please investors who are like, how much money is this going to make us? And he draws a 1 and he keeps drawing zeros to applause.
So Blumhouse Games, right? Them basically kind of saying video games make a lot of money and we want to get in on that. I wonder how long that vertical, marketing terms, is going to last.
Yeah.
When they realize that it's not going to pull in the money they think it is.
Because you can make horror movies for real cheap. Blumhouse does it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Making a horror video game,
not cheap.
That's a little different.
Nope.
So I really wonder what that is going to be, and how long that will last. It's always interesting because every couple of years, like Netflix was like, ooh, we're going to get into games. And then they just literally nip it in the bud before it even starts because it's not immediately profitable or whatever, right? So I don't know. It feels bad to be cynical about the industry, but I also feel like at this point we're just being realistic because video games are not new. People are like, oh, video games are still in their infancy compared to other media, but we're literally just seeing media trends happen over and over and over in video games. And we're in like that post-capitalist hellscape where it's kind of like, well, this is probably going to happen because we've seen it all before and it accelerated way faster in games than anywhere else.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't really have groundbreaking games anymore. Not to sound like doomer and like jaded as fuck, but yeah, there's nothing like that could really shake up everything.
Well, it's a plateau.
Yeah.
We've hit a plateau, and this happens with other pieces of media, other kinds of media all the time, where you hit plateaus and things sort of not necessarily stagnate, but there isn't like a revolutionary or like game-changing thing. And a lot of the reason that we're at this plateau is because in my opinion, is because we're chasing this sort of like, we're trying to push the envelope on like this hyper-realism thing, or not hyper-realism, this photorealism thing, where we want games to emulate movies. And in order to achieve that, we need games to look like real life because movies are made in real life. And we just sort of, we've sort of hit the limit or we're hitting the limits on our ability to achieve that. And the way we're doing it is throwing money at it. And that's why we've hit the plateau. Cause like, there's just not enough money to throw at this thing that'll make a return, aiming for what we're aiming for. And by we, I mean the royal we for the industry.
Yeah. GC's doing
it. That's why I think if we're not already in it, we're going to, I think we're going to be facing a video game crash pretty soon. Although I would label all of these layoffs and all these like studio closures as a video game crash.
Yeah. We are on the edge. We are already there, but now we're about to tip forward.
Yeah, I think I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better, for sure. And you're
absolutely,
and not everyone is going to suffer horribly, but I think a lot of the AAA studios, a lot of these like big companies are either going to lose a lot of money or they're going to pull out of video games entirely. In my opinion, like I'm shocked Konami decided to get back into video games.
It's kind of the worst time for them to do this.
I feel like they did this because of the pandemic stuff and the pandemic numbers that they were seeing. And then they were like, we're going to get back into video games because video games are making a fuck ton of money now. And now that they've like invested all of this to get back into video games, they're like, oh fuck, we're
losing money.
We've made a horrible mistake.
We didn't realize that Fortnite ruined everything. Oh no.
You know, it is what it is, TM.
Yep.
Yeah.
That can't have been it for Summer Game Fest, right?
I literally can't talk about anything until next week.
Oh my god.
Well, there's a couple other things.
Please, yes, that would have been a downer of an ending. Save us, GC.
No, yeah. There's actually a few things. I saw the PC gaming show, and by saw the PC gaming show, I mean I
skimmed it.
I smashed the right arrow key when I got home. I smashed the right arrow key while I was watching the whole thing, skipping 5 seconds at a time until I hit gameplay of something that looked neat. Cullen?
Yeah, hi.
You're a big fan of reality TV shows, aren't you?
MILF Manor, the game?
You're getting, getting ahead of yourself. Getting ahead of yourself. Yes. I'd like to build onto this to say, I feel like everything indie shown at this event was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, lots of really cool ideas.
There are so many indie, I'm having a different problem than usual where there's so many indies I saw that I loved. And it's like, no, but there's too many and I'm not getting all of them. But all I can think of was, wow, there are a lot of good indies, but I can't remember any names. And I think that's a good problem to have. But this one, yes.
The one you're thinking of, which has been called a thirst-person shooter by the director of the game, a thirst-person shooter, is called The Crush House. And it's about a reality TV show where you decide what happens.
I think I would go mad with power.
Yes,
I feel like this would be the last game I'd ever need.
You think so? I think when this showed up on the presentation, I think I remember you saying something to the effect of, "Oh my God, this was made for me."
Yeah. Because I was having this conversation with our friend Bridget recently, who I've been watching MILF Manor with her, and I forget that a lot of people were not raised on trashy reality TV like I was, where some of that was making her like sick to just see, like it gave her a really bad migraine. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty tame for reality TV standards. I'm having fun. Mm-hmm. And now that this is happening, and I'm like, are you saying that I get to make my own reality TV nightmare situations?
You know what you get to do now, right? You know what you have to do.
Dead Love Island.
Yes. And you have to do the thing that I get the feeling a lot of people are going to do, and you have to stream this.
Oh yeah. Of course.
I want to see the fucked up things you get up to in the Crush House. Like, so
this is called the Crush House, right?
It's called the Crush House, yeah. Like, I want you to, I'm fully envisioning you pairing up like two people into like a makeout sesh, followed by an immediate fight afterwards, followed by like a dance party.
Oh, there's a demo.
Yeah, there's a demo.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you want to know how much this game was made for me? I'm looking at the Steam page. Planned release date, August 9th, 2024. This is a birthday present for me.
Wow.
I'm going to get this demo. So like GC, I didn't watch the showcase they did after, like, I just watched that first trailer we saw. What else like are you kind of able to do in this game?
I didn't really look. Like, you could you have like, so let's say like one of the ones that one of the examples of an audience that you had was like divorced dads. Divorced dads are going to be watching this. So you have to like appease them, or you can like appease them while you're playing, and you have to set up like the scenes to basically like make it interesting for that demographic. But then there's like, I think you also get to like do the camera angles and how everything's filmed.
Now, I looked at the Steam page as well, and I was thinking this was going to be more of a sim-like, you know, like a God game of sorts. But it turns out that this might actually be like an actual like non-conventional like linear story though, because it lists uncover the mystery, explore the house at night while the show's off air, break the rules and engage with forbidden conversations with the cast to figure out the dark secrets of the Crush House. So it seems like this, I don't know, I wonder if this is going to be kind of restrictive, and like what you're doing with the people in the Crush House is more like puzzle solving in a sort for like short-term like problems, whereas like it is actually a linear game. But regardless, if it's not a sim, I'm still interested, and I really hope there's a lot of freedom though on how you can make things play out, because I think that
seems to be the case, where you have a lot of freedom in like how you produce this show by day, but there's like a story that you can do by night that you kind of like work with.
Yeah, I'm really excited. There's just so many like really cool indies coming out.
Yeah, the one that I want to really play is there's a game. I don't know if either of you are into like truck simulator.
Not really, but I think it's funny to watch people play it.
So there's a game called Star Trucker that's coming out, where you're a trucker but in space, and it's just a simulator of doing that. And I'm really excited for that. Yeah, I'm really into that. I really want to play that. There's a really cool game that was shown off at SGF. Oh no, not at SGF. At Day of the Dev, which was the presentation after SGF, called Screenbound.
Okay.
And it's the one where you're holding a Game Boy, like handheld in front of your face, and it has like a 2D game in it.
And that is the 3D space you're in. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to play both at the same time.
Yeah, and that's how you can find like secret like ledges and stuff, and that's how you progress. It reminds me of from what I know of that third Paper Mario game.
Super Paper Mario?
Super Paper Mario on the Wii, when you like change the direction of like 2D levels and then find like secret paths, or like you could move around the paper that would have been blocking you in a 3D space.
Yeah.
It seems really neat. Lots of shit to add to my wish list.
Another one that might be cool. I'm just naming off a bunch of them so that people listening might like go for it. Another one that you might like, Kazuma, is called Streets of Fortuna.
Ooh, what's that?
It is a heavily, this is the description. It is a heavily simulated sandbox RPG where you are in a city, right? But you can be anyone and anything you want, and the game is procedural. And it's
okay.
It has the co-creator of Dwarf Fortress.
Okay.
Did a little bit of work on it, like a little bit, and like vouches for it.
All right. Well, I mean, these aren't games that were at SGF specifically, but I think they were at the Steam Next Fest ahead of SGF, and it was Fields of Mystria is what I'm super interested, and Tiny Glade. Fields of Mystria is like a 90s anime style farming sim game that looks super cute, and Tiny Glade, you just make a little house.
Make a tiny little house.
Yeah. Also, Marvel Midnight Suns, I'm finally going to get around to playing that because that was free on EGS. So.
Ooh, Midnight Suns is very good. I like it a lot.
Is it? Jason Isaacs is in it, so I'm like, I gotta play. But, I
found a cute little 2D like adventure game, rhythm game indie that popped up. I think it was on the Day of the Devs, called After Love EP, where you play like, it looks like a little like slice of life coming of age story in Jakarta.
Yeah. I actually included that in a top LGBTQI plus games to look out for in 2024 for them. Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. It seems like exactly the kind of vibe I fuck with.
And I'm not sure if this is correct, but I think Sweet Baby also had like some sort of input on it, and nice. I love the Sweet Baby people, so yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
And then for the sickos who like XCOM turn-based tactics, turn-based strategy games like I do, Every Day We Fight is one of those games about being caught in a time loop, and it has like some roguelite elements built into it. And it seems like it's shaping up to be a really cool little game. Excited for that as well.
Neat. Do you have any others?
I think that's it.
Are there no other games? Oh wait, there was this there was this new turn-based RPG that got announced at the Xbox thing, and the only it says a lot about me in particular, where I was like, hey, this main guy sounds familiar. Oh, that's Ben Starr. So I guess the best thing to come from Final Fantasy 16 was that Ben Starr broke out and is now probably going to be protagonist man voice and everything. And he has a very dreamy voice, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, there's like a French turn-based realistic looking RPG coming out next year. I totally forget the name. It's called like something 33.
Expedition 33.
Expedition 33, thank you. And it kind of reminded me of what kind of game the Thaumateurs was, but with a lot more money.
And French people.
Which, so you might actually be into that one.
Yeah, you know. GC's bit is feet, mine is French.
And I would simply never step in front of a rake.
Yours is hedgehogs.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hedgehogs. It's Sonic.
What about it?
It's Sonic. You have like the worst one of all. Like,
how?
Yeah.
Have you seen Sonic fan fiction? You have the worst one out of all of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't read it.
You are it. You embody it.
Why would I talk to Sonic fans?
You are one. You best start believing in Sonic fans, Cullen. You are one.
Yeah. Man. You know what? I'm going to say it on the podcast. I miss hanging out with you guys. I've been so busy. I haven't had proper time with you guys that I'm just like, man, I missed you guys.
We missed you too.
Oh, man. Yeah. This is where we get all mushy on the podcast. Yeah, I think regarding SGF, I feel like that kind of covers it. I feel like it was...
I was expecting us to be talking about this more.
Well, I just think it's not a very remarkable show, and I can't talk about anything until next week.
And like... there was some stuff that people were like, oh, hey, they mentioned this at Xbox. And I looked into it and I was like, oh, okay. Like Fable, I thought Fable was going to be more interesting, but
why are they doing shaky cams? Why are they doing that?
I don't know.
Quirky.
And the gameplay footage that they showed off was like so minuscule. It was like, you know, there's not enough there for me to make a change my mind about what Fable is, which is I like it, but they gotta
fart jokes.
They gotta do something beyond that. Yeah.
That reminded me, Perfect Dark showed up. That actually looked kind of neat. Did you watch?
It's still alive?
Yeah, it's got a trailer with gameplay. It looks a bit immersive simmy, but maybe, you know, I'm being optimistic.
It did. I didn't realize it was Perfect Dark because it looked so different from what I thought Perfect Dark was just like James Bond, but with a lady. I'll be honest.
Like James Bond the game from Rare?
No, not that.
Oh, well, I mean, it was made by Rare, so.
That's true. But I thought it was like a spy thing. I guess this is still a spy thing, but
yeah, you're doing spy stuff.
I didn't know it was like futuristic or anything like that.
Oh yeah. I gotta play Perfect Dark. This made me just want to like find a way to play Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I like her redesign too.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Yeah.
Can I say one not controversial thing?
Sure.
I don't know, it's you.
I'm tired of games striving for hyperrealism.
Yeah, same.
Because I'm watching the Fable trailer right now, and I'm sick of that game had like a really distinct
look.
Like, yeah, and now it's just hyper realistic and shaky cam, and I wish we would stop aiming for that, and I wish we could go back to interesting stylization. And you know what? I think that's what makes games really fun, and indie games really fun and awesome, is that they're going for that, which makes them unique looking in this day and age of everyone chasing hyper realism.
Yeah.
Is Perfect Dark also hyper realistic?
Yes.
Perfect
Oh,
Dark?
yeah, it is. Holy shit.
Yeah, Perfect Dark's going for photorealism.
Okay, photoreal.
Yeah.
I guess like hyperrealism. Yeah. I'm thinking like Setsuna's Sacrifice or like Horizon.
Setsuna's Sacrifice.
Yeah.
You mean Senua? Man, I wonder if that game studio is gonna exist.
No, they made like a tweet being like, "No, guys, we're fine, huh? We're gonna make more games. Sorry, huh?"
Oh, relevant to me, Starfield DLC got announced, but unless they fix the fact that 80% of their game is Radiant, I don't care. Hopefully now that the creation kit is out for Starfield, mod authors will create curated content that's good.
See, that was a really funny thing, is that they were showing all this stuff off for Starfield, and then they showed the microtransaction store, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, so a lot of those, so to clear that up, that is the Creation Club, where
and creators get paid, right?
Yes.
When they put their stuff there.
Every mod author gets paid for the work they do for Creation Club. Not everything is paid content. So a lot of it is free. That's just Bethesda's like official mod portal, but you don't need to use it. You can just use Nexus mods, mod database, like all the other ones that already host mods. Yeah. A lot of the mods that are on Creation Club that are for free have versions up on Nexus mods and stuff like that. So you can just get them there. You don't have to use the Creation Club at all. It's kind of fucked. Like, I have a problem with Creation Club because I think their pricing is a little aggressive. And I think what Bethesda wants more than anything else is to make all mods something that people have to pay for and give them specifically money for.
Mm-hmm.
But you can largely ignore the shit out of Creation Club. So
but can you ignore the game not being that good?
Well, you can just download the mods off of a different website, is what I was saying. So it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can ignore the official.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and then in like 5 years, Bethesda will release Starfield Anniversary Edition, and all that Creation Club content will be free and packaged with it, and then you can play it then. None of it's that important. Like Bethesda, like Skyrim came out with an Anniversary Edition, and it had all this Creation Club content that it came with, and the content's good, but it's not like you were missing out on like the most like amazing thing ever. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Okay.
They're smart. They know where their money is, and they know how they get people to keep playing their games. And it's by leaving the mod community the fuck alone.
Yeah. And reverting patches to unbreak their games.
Yes, and doing that too.
But yeah, that's SGF, guys. Until we do SGF part 2 on our first episode.
Yeah.
Next time, because I can't say anything.
Well, I mean, were you doing anything like not related to SGF? I know none of us actually did our homework.
Yeah,
we gave ourselves the excuse that it was a special SGF show, and then SGF ended up being really underwhelming.
So let me tell you what my schedule was like. Just so you guys, this is for the audience to sort of understand what a workload is for SGF. And I am one person covering for 2 sites. So the first day of SGF, I got there as soon as it opened at 10 a.m. and I was working until 6 p.m. Back-to-back appointments. I got there at 11 a.m. today, and I didn't get back home until 7:20. Tomorrow, I will go from one appointment destination at 10 a.m. to a second appointment destination in under 30 minutes to then play something for an hour, and then I will be at SGF until 4:30 on the final day. But I have back-to-back appointments for all of that, so it's either an hour to an hour and 30 minutes, and I have to write one thing for each of those and do multiple interviews.
Sheesh. I just sat on a couch.
Can my homework be watching Cullen and like play Dragon Age 2? Can that please be my homework?
We still need to actually do our homework. We just got an extension, but hold on to that.
Oh shit. Okay. That's all I want to do is watch Cullen play Dragon Age 2.
I would also like to watch Cullen play Dragon Age 2 because I feel like he'd make some demented choices.
Yes. Okay.
My co-hosts have no faith in me.
So I'm assigning us homework, and I'm saying our homework from last week. It was a holiday. It was a German holiday. Jake can make up the name of the German holiday.
Cool.
And we can just use that holiday whenever all of us are busy or one of us is too busy to function. So I'm going to say that our homework. Yeah, our homework is now to watch you play Dragon Age.
No, I mean, I still kind of wanted us all to do that homework.
My homework was Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah.
I want to watch that movie too. What did Kazuma have to do?
Johnny Mnemonic in black and white.
Oh yeah, so all we gotta do is watch movies. We could definitely do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's make Dragon Age and then those movies.
Movie night.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, Dragon. That sounds so nice. Oh my god, because I have so much work I have to do.
Hell yeah!
Well, I'm shuddering thinking about it.
I already got Dragon Age on my Xbox, so we're all good to go.
Xbox, play Dragon Age 2.
I have headphones, so they can't hear you.
Xbox.
You're just yelling at me.
Xbox, please.
Xbox grilled cheese. Xbox ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, well, I mean, I could have actually grilled cheese if you got me like hot enough. Like if you booted up Fallout 4, then I could have probably like grilled some cheese, but like I can't make you ham. You're hamless.
Hamless. All right. So there's no.
There's the name for the episode. Hamless.
Hamless. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put that down. Hang on.
Summer Jeff Fest, the Hamless cast.
Hang on. Okay, that's gonna be the longest fucking episode title ever.
GC
until it's like
Oh no, continue. Sorry.
Until it's like Dragon Age fall extravaganza. Kazuma couldn't fuck the old guy or some bullshit like that.
We'll have Jake draw you with like the YouTube Sona like crossed arms.
Yeah.
The problem with young people.
Yes. Yeah, no. So instead of this week of the Fire Emblem Triangle, we're just pals vibing and hanging out. It's an episode of Life is Strange. Someone is gonna die at the end.
Nose goes.
What?
Nose goes.
What's nose goes?
GC, say nose goes.
No, I won't.
Okay, well then GC, you're the one who's gonna die.
That's fine. Okay. I'd rather you two live.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, GC.
But that means like one of us are gonna have to like blow up a town just to make sure we live in the reality where you do. So.
Okay, well.
I told you you'd make some demented decisions.
But I was going to ask, since Kazuma is so SGF focused, and our episode's a lot shorter than usual. GC, have you been playing any games?
Oh, you wanna do this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot in a lot of 2 different games. So I'll talk about one though. I'll only mention one because I feel like the other one I can mention in the next episode. I've been playing the new Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake.
That one's, oh god, that game's so good.
That is an incredible remake. And by incredible, I don't mean they added a bunch of stuff and they fixed a bunch of stuff and they completely reworked how everything functions. The Thousand Year Door was already a very good game. It was very polished to begin with. The story's really fun. Combat's really fun to play. Working with badges, leveling up, health versus skill point usage versus badge points is a really good dynamic. Low to the ground damage and low to the ground like health values for everything. It really simplifies RPG mechanics. And then from there, it's very deep, where it has action commands. So you press A at the right time, or you tilt the stick in a certain direction, and you get extra damage for that. And then they have super guards where like you can counter enemy moves by doing like frame perfect parries. Thousand Year Door was already really good. What makes this remake fantastic is that they polished off and sanded down the very, very few rough edges that the Thousand Year Door had. And by that, I mean, literally, somebody must have played that game and gone, oh, you know what would be better here if we put a pipe here that works as a shortcut if in case players jump down here to get this item, they don't have to walk all the way back up. Oh, you know what we should do here? We should actually give the player more coins for doing these side quests because the coin economy in the game is a little low and people aren't spending a lot of money on badges, and that's not very interesting. So let's make it a little easier for the player to do that. Oh, and while we're at it, we'll raise the coin cap from 999 to 4 digits since we can do that now. And it's just these little things. And as you're playing the game, if you've played it before, you'll sit there and go, huh, that's new. Huh, I don't remember that. Oh, it's neat that they did that. Oh, cool. They added a little shortcut here. Oh, they added a retry in case you fail at this part. Oh, one of the things that I noticed is one of the big things that they did was add like a new super boss. Oh, that's kind of cool. Like just these little things that make replaying that game a joy. One of the greatest things about the Thousand Year Door is that you can play that game 10 times and you'll learn something new about it every time you play it. You'll learn something. You'll find there's like a secret room somewhere that doesn't do anything, but it's a fun little flavor thing. You'll learn a new build to play as. You'll learn little character stories that you didn't come across before. And all the remake does is increase the longevity of that feeling, of feeling like you learn something new every time you replay that game. It's fantastic. I love it. Can't get enough of it. I've been streaming it. I'm probably going to finish it this week.
Hell yeah.
I'm at the train still and I haven't gotten any further, but no, I adore that game. You're definitely right in how it just feels like you're always discovering something. Like this is the first time I've ever played it, so I obviously am. But there's every time you find something new in that game, it really feels you like, oh, like it makes your day. It's so weird. It's so like hard to describe.
It has the quality that I love in RPGs. Dragon Quest VIII has it. The Last Remnant has it. Final Fantasy X has it. And you would describe it as whimsy.
Yes.
It has the whimsy. It has the fairy tale like quality. It has this novelty that never wears off.
Yeah, and that's really the thing about the whole game, novelty.
Yeah.
Like it's not breaking a new ground, but you don't see many RPGs do this in this exact way. God, I hope this sells well and Nintendo goes, oh, so this is what people want from Paper Mario.
Yeah, I did not like Sticker Star, and I have issues with Color Splash. I did enjoy the Origami King for what it was.
Every time I try to enjoy that one, I feel like I look at the combat system and I go like, this is too much.
I definitely think so. I was gonna say that. I think people look at the combat system in the Origami King. If you don't know, it's slide puzzles. Everybody, you do slide puzzles to do damage to enemies in like an efficient way. And if you do it inefficiently, then enemies can attack you on their turn and they do a lot of damage, and the game severely punishes you for screwing that up. But over time, the more you do it, the more you recognize the patterns, the more you memorize, sort of collect yourself and figure out, okay, I have to do this and do that. And like you acclimate yourself to it. And then the origami game becomes a lot of fun because the battle system simplifies itself once you learn a little bit of it. There is some friction there, but I think it's good friction. But yeah, like I really hope the remake of the Thousand Year Door sells well so that Intelligent Systems gets the green light to play with the Paper Mario license again. Because my big gripe is that they're not allowed to do that. In the Thousand Year Door, you have a lot of really interesting characters. You have like your partners are all really cool designs of existing Mario characters. Like you get a Koopa, but the Koopa's got a hoodie and he's got a bandage on his nose and his name's is Koops and he's neat. In the Origami King, you have a Bob-omb. What's his name? It's Bob-omb. What's he look like? He looks like a Bob-omb. That's it. I
would have hoped they kept that because that's like the coolest part about Paper Mario.
Yeah, so that's what they wash out after Super Paper Mario. They sort of, well, even in Super Paper Mario, they didn't use Mushroom Kingdom characters. They used geometric shapes to do partner characters and stuff like that. And then in Sticker Star, you don't have any partner characters except for the one. And then in Color Splash, it's the same deal. And yeah, and they're not like very interesting or whatever. And none of the characters in future Paper Mario games are cool designs or unique characters. They're just Koopa or a Toad, a Boo, standard looking Mario characters. So here's hoping the remake gives them the green light to do more like the Thousand Year Door. I would love a return to classic Paper Mario, as we can call it now, because there's like 6 games in the franchise.
It's just wild that we got a game like Thousand Year Door, which before was kind of just like a cult classic, and it got such a like a remake with so much love in it. They kind of went crazy on this.
Yeah, new soundtrack, new visuals.
Like this is not a remaster. This is a like from the ground up remake that's just trying to recreate it like fucking area by area. There's so much new here. Yeah, for real.
And I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed, but I'll save that for next episode.
Oh, Assassin's Creed. All charged up. I'm there. I'm in it. I'm not really in it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I beat Assassin's Creed Syndicate and then I picked up Origins, but I'll have more to say on Origins next episode when I've played it more. Short version is I'm warming up to it.
Yeah, RPG Assassin's Creed seems weird, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say about that.
Yeah, and that's me. Kazuma, you playing anything or are you just working?
I played... Oh, God. I'm playing AFK Journey a lot because I'm working all the time, so I'm playing mobile games right now.
I'm so
and
sorry.
I'm really... No, I love it. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm actually having a great time playing mobile games. They're very, like, low investment, and this game, you can basically just, like, let the game idle, and it will just collect resources for you, and then you can kind of play it on your own terms, and that's what I really like about it. I like the character designs. I'm liking the story. It's a great game for someone who is busy all the time. Most of the time I'm spending actually, like, fleshing out, like, original settings and stuff that I've wanted to write on for a while. And doing work with GC on some things we can't talk about. But yeah, I'm trying to use this time that I do have to be more creative and actually, like, stimulate my brain in some way, which is weird to say. Not as though playing games is to stimulate your brain, but I'm trying to get back into the practice of writing for fun.
That's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, for those of you that don't know, writing was sort of, like, something I did to relax along with, like, making, like, edits and stuff, like image edits. And I don't really do anything for fun anymore. And I feel like that's, like, actually getting me really stressed out. So I'm trying to find, you know, the joy in things again. And that's what I've been playing. App games and trying to enjoy life.
Okay. Respect. Enjoy life harder, please.
I will. I will try to enjoy life to the fullest. What about you?
Let's.
You can't talk about what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I cannot. No.
For those that don't know, Cullen is playing Little Dog Boy's Big Adventure.
Yes, I'm a consultant. They needed to know what it was like to be a dog boy, and I'm playing it right now. Look forward to it. It's coming out on Steam.
It's
next year.
It's fine if you can't talk about it. I mean, this is a special episode, so we don't really need to run the runtime, super far.
Oh, you could see I was stalling.
Yeah, it's totally fine that we don't talk about what we're playing or anything like that. Like, it's an SGF centered episode. We talked about SGF.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I played some stuff.
What'd you play?
The demo for Trails from Daybreak came out, and it's so nice to feel good about that series again after really just not vibing with Cold Steel and seeing how cool that little chunk we got in that demo was. I'm stoked to play more.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's just a demo. Everyone can just go play that. You don't need to hear my thoughts on the demo of a game that came out in Japan 3 years ago.
No, we can absolutely listen to your thoughts on that, actually.
I think I might wait until until the game comes out, because I think this is pretty good, and you guys should honestly give it a play. I have it
really?
on Steam, because the Japanese Steam port came out first, and if you have that, they'll just patch the English into it. That's the worldwide release is what they're doing. So I already own it. I got it to prepare and then mess around with it on Steam Deck. So when it comes out, you guys can just play it. I think it's probably the best place to start with Trails now, because it's just a cool game.
See, my experience was reviewing a Trails game that was in the middle of everything, and then everybody got mad because I was like, this is not accessible to people that have never played a Trails game before.
Unfortunately, people hate you saying that.
But it's true.
It is true. And because the fucked up thing is that they agree with you, but I guess because you're reviewing the game, they don't want to hear it. They want to say it in their own way, which is, oh, you idiot. Why did you play this one then? You can't jump in here. And you're saying, I know I can't jump in here. I got pushed in here.
Yeah, I got shoved into the hole, and I'm in here with all of you, and I don't know what's going on.
And then they start excreting smells.
Ew.
I know.
Like a skunk.
Mm-hmm. A hole full of skunks.
Yeah.
But yeah, just this game is really cool looking. If you want to play as a little your role in the game is a bit more complicated, but you're essentially a private investigator who runs a little agency, and you just solve a little mystery, and your guy's this badass lethargic dude with a sweet tooth. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah, demo's out now. Go play. It's good.
Go play game. And then get excited for Sonic X Shadow.
Yeah, no, that's really where I'm at. And get excited for Dragon Age 2.
I am Shadow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wait, did they actually have a Shadow song in the trailer?
No.
Oh. I'm just singing it.
Okay, so I was like, wow, that would have been the fucking greatest thing they could have done.
You mixed up All I Am. Yeah, that was the one. There's one that is called, I think you mixed it up with All Hail Shadow.
Oh, there it is.
Is that a good song?
Oh, it goes hard. Shadow only has good music associated with him. It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of amazing how he is, without a doubt, the most interesting and best Sonic character.
I'm glad they know this now.
Yep, and I am Shadow. According to your Twitch chat, it's me, not you. I'm Shadow.
It's whatever. I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad.
I got voted Shadow by your own Twitch chat.
I know.
Assigned Shadow at birth.
Assigned Shadow at birth.
Fucked up. It's not fair.
I can make those jokes. I'm transgender. Sorry.
But yeah, I guess that's it then. Oh, unless you.
I feel like that's exactly where we end the episode. Yeah. We just cut and we fade out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next week, questions. We'll answer them and we'll do our homework, unless if we don't. You can find us at Burnout Cult Pod on Twitter. You can email us at burnoutculturepodcast@gmail.com. And you can find us on Spotify and YouTube at Burnout Culture. Is that it?
Oh, you can't.
Okay, well, you can't apparently.
We moved out.
Yeah, we're in the middle of trying to find somewhere to live right now.
Send us your questions. We like answering questions in between searching for a new place to live. It's very fun, and it takes out the horrible realization of
I can use the cafe Wi-Fi.
House hunting.
Yes. All right. Thank you for listening, everybody, and we'll see you when our next episode comes out, which is every other week.
We'll actually see you. We'll look in your computer screen.
Yeah.
I will find you.
Cullen is malware. Confirmed. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.